Hello everyone, I'm FIDE instructor Atul Dahale and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today for Team India, the online chess Olympiad has started. We started with a bang, you can say, because the first match for us was against Egypt and we won it convincingly with 6-0 score. After that we played against France, but the match was drawn 3-3, and the last one was against the Sweden and we managed to win this match also with the score of 4-2. In this match I'm going to show you one of the game which was played by the beast, means the Adhiban. I selected this game because the way he has played in the opening phase is truly innovative, I can say, because he showed why he is called the beast for a reason, because he showed a lot of courage to play this very interesting opening. He played the Jaenisch Gambit against Ruy Lopez opening, but I will say that it was not completely his preparation, means I guess so, because his friend Seduraman SP after the game tweeted. I'll just show you the tweet. This was his tweet. Seduraman is a very strong grandmaster from India and he tweeted like, new fan to the Jaenisch Gambit, that is Adhiban chess. Till 14 moves, this game follows my chessable course. He has one chessable course related to this opening, and well, the game was pretty interesting, so we'll be getting straight to the game. We'll see how he played, what I was talking about, the daring which he did, why he is the beast, the brave person, and the technique also which he showed is truly amazing. So without further delay, let's get started. In this game, Adhiban is black, his opponent Blomqvist. Eric is white, he started with e4. And one more thing, before we go further, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you are new here, because we will be having plenty of videos related to the online chess Olympiad on our channel. We'll be having live stream also, so stay tuned with me. Okay, so here e5 was played by him, knight f3, knight c6, bishop to b5, and we all know this thing that well, this is a very solid opening, Ruy Lopez opening. If you start with a6, bishop a4, and then knight f6, castles, and then you can play bishop e7, rook e1, b5, bishop b3, and okay, so on. Lots of moves are there. But when it comes to the Adhiban, then he played the next move, that was f5. Who plays f5, right? You are opening up your king side here, means the king is completely exposed. It is also called as the Shulman opening or the Jaenisch Gambit, Jaenisch defense, you can say. f5, the point is like, if you capture, of course you will be getting a lot of active moves here. The center is in your control, d5 will be coming, knight f6, bishop will come on c5 square, and black will be having enough number of like resources in the position. Okay, opponent did not go for the acceptance of that f5 pawn. He played d3. Okay, then he captured on e4, d captures on e4, and then knight f6 comes. By playing like this, one thing is quite sure, that Adhiban wants to play something on the f file, but opponent was also prepared. What he did in this position is he castled, then Adhiban played d6. Okay, one thing is quite interesting, that why not play bishop c5, which is also a very obvious good move in this position. Nothing wrong with this thing. Knight c3 is there, queen d3 is also there, queen e2 is also there, and there are many different possibilities in the position. I'll not go into the complete detail, I'll just stick to the game, because I'll tell you one thing, whenever the bishop goes out, we cannot really take care of the pin over here. So maybe that was one of the reason why he played d6, and he wants to get this bishop also very quickly in the game to bishop to g5. And here white played bishop c4, stopping all the activities here on this side of the board, means black cannot really castle so easily. Okay, so he played bishop g4, pinning this knight, then h3 was played, unpinning the knight, bishop goes to h5 square, knight c3 comes, knight goes to, means knight is trying to go to d5 square if it's allowed. And one thing is that the pawn on e4 is also protected. Okay, everything is going quite smooth. Bishop e7 is played, and now here in this position the twist happens. White played a very aggressive move. He played g4, and white is saying like, okay, show me, what are you going to do? Are you going to capture the pawn on g4? Well, it is a possibility. The thing is that you can capture here, and the good news is like bishop can come back to e2 square, and white should be safe. Okay, white should be safe. And okay, there are other alternatives also here. Knight d5 is also one of the possibilities, and after knight takes g4, it's a tricky position. But okay, Adhiban was as I said, like very well prepared. He went back, and this is why I was telling you he played this daring opening, because here he has given all the trump cards to his opponent. Opponent's bishop is on a good diagonal. He cannot castle very easily. His pieces also are a little bit cramped. Look at this bishop, the knight. They are not having any good squares. Means they are not active in the position. But he knows what exactly he should be doing. Now one thing is there. We cannot just keep the king in the center of the board. We cannot go to the king side also. We have to take the king to the queen side. But okay, opponent played knight g5 going for the next move knight e6, and then it will be trouble because g7 as well as the queen will be attacked. What should you do? You need to control the e6 square. So he plays the next move, which is a very logical move, that is knight d4. Now e6 is controlled. He plays f4. White is saying like, I'm not going to slow down. I'm just going to attack on you no matter what. Now if you capture, it will be a big blunder because the knight will be hanging, so you cannot go for that thing. And the knight on g5 is also very irritating. So he plays h6, asking this knight, what are you going to do? Are you going to go back or are you going to play knight e6? Of course, anybody will play knight e6 because after this section you have to capture, because the pawn on g7 was hanging. Bishop captures e6, and now we cannot capture on this side of the board. We cannot capture on this side of the board. So what to do? The big question is there. But Adhiban says like, okay, slow down, no problem. In this position, I'm going to castle on the queen side. I'm going to block this bishop's diagonal. How to block it? Well, the knight should come here, but in that case you need to move your queen also. So go step by step. So first move he plays is c6. The idea is to bring the queen in the game. Okay, opponent plays bishop e3, not allowing queen b6, this kind of checks. Okay, he plays queen c7, no issues. Queen comes on the f3 square, and as per the plan he goes for knight d7. Now of course, as the knight is here, the threat of castling is there, but we need to slow down in this position. White plays rook a d1, just bringing the piece in the game. Before you go for the castle, he plays rook f8. Why is he playing this move? Because if f5 is played, he should be having this interesting move, bishop f7, and he will try to exchange the bishop on e6 square. Well, opponent cannot even capture on e5 because there is a pin on this file. So he plays queen g3. Fair enough, he castles in this position. And now, okay, you can think about capturing here on a7, but if you capture on a7, can you find out what is the good move from black side? Where there are different alternatives, but the simplest move which I feel is b6, because by playing b6 the bishop on a7 will be lost and you cannot really do anything about that bishop, right? So opponent obviously did not go for bishop into a7. He captured on e5, but capturing on e5 is like going for the liquidation. And one more thing is like, after the liquidation, white will be the one who will be having good position, because the bishop on this diagonal will be opened up. How he did it? First of all, he captured on f1, because you should not allow this rook f8 and then rook f8, the knight on, because I'll show you one thing. If we capture here, then rook f8 is a very good move. If we capture with the bishop, then this knight on d7 square is, even if you after d5 rook f8 bishop f8, if you go for bishop captures a7 in this position, still b6 is a good move. But there is a nice interesting idea. That idea is to play queen f2 in this position. Now bishop into a7 is going to come, plus the idea of queen into f8 in the end is also there. Let's suppose you play some move like b6. Okay, let's suppose you play this move, and white will be very happy to just capture on d7, because you have to capture it here, and after this captures, the bishop on f8 will be hanging, so you cannot really play this move. So here Adhiban understands the threat. He first of all goes for rook into f1, and then here king into f1 was played. Then he captures d into e5. Now there is no threat. Queen f6, queen f2 is there, but now we can play b6. This is the main difference. The reason is like bishop on f8 is not there. Bishop is on e7 square. Okay, fair enough. I hope you have understood. And now this bishop is opened up. One thing I would like to tell you, that dark squares in white's camp are pretty opened up, and the pawns are also light square pawns are there, so white needs to be careful in this position. Okay, the game goes queen d2. Now I will go quickly through the remaining part of the game, and we will come to a position which is very crucial. Now the thing is that we need to open up the free this knight and the king also. So for that reason, he first of all plays bishop e8, supporting the knight on d7 square, a3, king b7. Now the king is gone from this square, so the pin is not there. The knight is ready to move around. Queen e2 was played, and he moves the knight to f8 square, bishop rook into d8, queen into d8, bishop goes behind. He plays b5, bishop d3, and suddenly it is white who is on the back foot now. The knight comes on the e6 square. Knight is going to have this d4 beautiful square. Queen f2 was played. Knight d4 comes in the center of the board. He plays knight e2, and now he plays a good move, bishop h4. This is what I was talking about earlier also, that the dark square weaknesses are there in white's camp. He plays queen f8, but okay, he exchanges the queens, and after the queen exchanges, he captured on d4 also, and suddenly white is in trouble because black will be having 4 versus 3 pawns on the queen side, and we know this thing that the if you are backed up by your pieces and if your pawns start pushing forward, then you will be in trouble. So that's what happened. He played c5, e5. Okay, the lonely pawn will not be that much big trouble for black, and after bishop g5 he exchanged this thing, and well, the end game which happened, the pawn end game which happened, is a very tricky one, very beautiful one. He plays capture, and then he plays a5, king f2, king b6, king e3, c4. The bishop needs to go back in this position, king c5. Slowly and gradually he is getting the position. Look at this thing, that the pawns are on the dark square. Okay, so white's bishop cannot really attack those pawns, and the pawn on h3 and g4 are kind of stuck, and the game was decided exactly because of this thing. And he has 2 versus 3 pawns on this side of the board. So whenever black manages to get the passed pawn on the queen side, white will be in big danger. And then he played bishop f7. Idea is preparing for the b4 breakthrough in that position. Bishop f3, bishop d5, because if you capture, then of course the pawn on e5 will be lost and he will be winning the game very soon. He plays bishop e2, bishop g2, going for the pawn on h3 square. He plays a good move, king f2, because if you capture here, the bishop will be trapped. We cannot really go for that thing. You should not be too much greedy or in hurry. He played bishop to e4, king e3, king d5, e6. And here opponent thought like, okay, I will be getting some passed pawn, but the thing is that he has the good move, that is bishop g6. After bishop g6, this pawn is just lost. King d6, king comes here, and he got the pawn. And once he plays king c5, he missed the next move, because now white thought like, okay, I will be getting the pawn, but bishop e8 came. And after king b6, it feels like, okay, black is going to lose something, or if he plays a4, then also it will be difficult position for black, because he will be having some trouble related to this thing. But he always has this b4 move, so white will always have the chance. But here, sorry, black will always have here. Adhiban played the next move, and which just finished off the game. The b4 move came, ab4, ab4, cb4, c3. The pawn is just going to queen, so bishop d3 is necessary. Now he plays bishop a4. Now c2 is going to come. Okay, here bishop d1 if he play, then also bishop g6 is going to come, and the c2 is coming. So white is kind of helpless. He plays this move, and okay, now the pawn race happened, and black is ready to give up the bishop on this diagonal. Okay, and after this, black's plan is to just go for this pawn and win the game. And the way the last game, the cat and mouse game, happened in this position, he played b6, king e6 happened, b7, he captured the pawn, and then the king just rushed towards the pawn. But one catch is there, that here in this position, after this capture, king came on a fair, and only because of the next move, that is king h4, black managed to win the game. So Adhiban managed to win the game just because of this move. If he did not have this move, then the game would have been drawn. So a very beautiful game played by the beast. I hope that you enjoyed this game. Do let me know how did you find this game in the comment section. Do like the video also, and do subscribe to the channel if you are new here. I'll be meeting very soon with more updates, more videos about this Olympiad. Till that moment, take care, goodbye, and love you all.